So in today's video, we're going to install this fold down table.
Wait!
So today, we're going to install this fold down table. Alright, so we found this one listed on Facebook Marketplace, had a link to an eBay store. We went to Logan, that's in Brisbane if you're not from the area, and we picked it up from an import warehouse. So obviously you get it delivered if you want it, but our delivery out here sucks, so we opted to go pick it up. Like I said before, it was, I guess they're made originally for caravans, but they do work great on buses or anywhere else really that's got a nice flat surface. This bus doesn't have a flat surface, of course, because that would just be too easy. To start, you probably want to mask up the area that you're going to work with, just because firstly you don't want to damage the paint if you can avoid it, and secondly it's easier to mark your measurements. So we've just got some rough measurements of where we thought it'd be best mounted. We're going to go closer to the door because we are planning to put probably 2 in. Looks it's a bit hard to see now, but flush up against the bus being white, and the bus being white, it won't be as noticeable as say big fold down metal frame. So this came with fasteners. We're not going to use them, they're just normal screws, probably not safe. Also came with these pre-drilled holes. They're not big enough, so we're not going to use those either. And we're going to fix it to the bus with this 6mm nutsert. So it's kind of like a rivet if you haven't seen it before, with a thread in it, and you use a tool after you've drilled the hole to put it in there, and just like a rivet gun, it pulls it out and flares the back of it so it's fixed to the bus. And then we'll put a 6mm fastener through the enlarged holes and stick it to the bus. To start off with, we're going to use a drill and just a metal screw to fasten it through one of the existing holes. Anyway, a bit of a disclaimer, check what's behind there before you drill the holes. I know what's behind there, there's nothing behind there. You know, there might be something, plumbing, electrical.
You just stud finder?
Ooh. Anyway, so I've got one screw in there. And I'm going to put another one in. So for most people that'd probably be alright. You could get away with that. Alright, so I've got those 2 screws in. They're just temporary, like I said. We're going to go around and mark these other holes on the tape. You can see there's a bit of a gap, obviously, because most buses aren't going to be flat on the side. So I don't know whether the table will be able to take that up or not. We'll find out. We'll get another screw in there, and we'll see if the door shuts. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we might have to put a little aluminium spacer in there, or maybe a rubber spacer at the top.
Have you heard that joke about before you marry someone you should give them really bad internet on a computer?
This thing wasn't working before I put it up here.
Yes.
Alright, so that hasn't affected it at all. Giving a little bit of a bend, I guess, because it's got some clearance in the framework, and it's not, the most precision piece of equipment. So that's going to work. Just it bent the frame a little bit, but it didn't stop it from working. So we're going to go with that. Measure once, cut twice. Alright, so we got this fastened on here with those metal screws. It does work. So it's good enough for me. Now I'm going to go and enlarge these holes to take the 6mm fasteners, and then once I've pre-drilled a pilot hole through the existing hole, I'll put the nutsert into the body of the bus.
the wiring.
Yeah. Look at me. So this is the nutsert tool. It'll look something like this. If you're doing any work on your bus or fabrication, you probably need one of these. You just don't know it. So yeah, here's one I've prepared earlier. Put a little bit of primer in those holes. So you should fit in there nice and snug like that. And as I mentioned, just like a rivet gun, just flare the back of the nutset. Pull that out. And what we have is a hole that'll take a fastener. 6mm, as I mentioned before. There you go. Bob's your auntie.
That's already recording.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. The finished product. We decided to use less fasteners, just because the bus does have a curve, and if we have used all the fastening locations, we would have bent the frame, and you know, the door might not shut properly. It might look a little bit dicky. So we use less fasteners. So I just drilled a hole in the middle of the two that were supplied, or two that were drilled, and just put one 6mm fastener in there rather than two smaller ones. So there was a gap at the top, and there is a gap at the bottom, obviously because of the curve of the bus. It's not huge, but I did run some polyurethane across the top, some white polyurethane, and also ran some polyurethane around the sealed edges there, just to give it a bit more.
Seal.
Yeah, will do. Touch it again. So you probably wouldn't need to use nutserts. You could just use screws if you wanted, and a lot of polyurethane, especially if you had a flat surface, because you could just go to town on the even tech screws if you're, you know, hard up. And you could use the polyurethane to stick it to the surface as well. So you don't need to use the nutserts. It's just a nice way to do it, and also you can take it back off if you have to. Okay, so that's the installation of the fold-down table complete. We'll leave the seller's information in the description of the video. Also remember to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Help us out, get some more videos going. And maybe comment below if you'd like to see us do something on our bus in particular. Thanks.
Looking for some extra fun.